Welcome to Fairy Garden Discoveries, where STEM takes flight. In nature, the shape of something changes how it moves. Wings, tails, leaves, and roots are all designed for different kinds of work. Learning how something works starts with noticing what makes it different. Amelia stretched her wings as wide as they would go. Sunlight shimmered along their edges as she turned slowly, admiring how they caught the breeze and curved just so. She lifted her chin, feeling tall and magnificent. "My wings," she announced proudly, "are at least a mile long." The garden went quiet. A few fairies gasped, a few blinked. One dropped a basket of petals. "A mile?" someone whispered. Amelia nodded confidently. "At least," she said. "Maybe more." She swept her wings outward again, taking up as much space as she could. "They feel enormous today," she added. The fairies stared, their eyes following the span of her wings as they fluttered and glowed. Mela tilted her head thoughtfully. "That's very long," she said. Another fairy squinted. "That's very, very long." Amelia smiled, pleased by the attention. The fairies immediately began talking all at once. "A mile is longer than the whole garden," one said. "No, it's longer than the stream," another argued. "I think it's longer than both," a third added. They fluttered around Amelia, peering at her wings from every angle. Amelia spread them wider. "See," she said, "they go forever." One fairy nodded solemnly. "They do look longer than yesterday." Another circled Amelia, arms crossed. "But do they look a mile long?" Amelia hesitated. "Well," she said, "they feel like it." The fairies paused. Mela smiled gently. "Feeling big and being big aren't always the same thing," she said. Amelia frowned slightly, then shrugged. "Either way," she said brightly, "they're definitely the biggest wings here." That, at least, no one argued with. Soon the fairies began guessing. "I think your wings are as long as 3 flower beds," one said. "I think they're longer than the mushroom ring," another guessed. "They're longer than my wings," someone added quickly. Amelia liked these guesses very much. "See?" she said. "Everyone agrees they're huge." Mela raised a finger. "Those are estimates," she said. "Guesses based on what we see." The fairies nodded. "So how do we know for sure?" one asked. Amelia perked up. "We measure them," she said. The fairies cheered. "Yes, measuring." Amelia grinned, already imagining the result. "This will be easy," she said. "And then you'll all see." The fairies rushed to find something, anything, to measure with. Someone grabbed a long flower stem. Someone else brought a twisty vine. Another fairy tied leaves together into a chain. Amelia held still as they stretched the flower stem along her wing. "It bends," someone said. They tried the vine. "It stretches," another complained. They tried the leaf chain. "It keeps changing length," someone sighed. The fairies frowned. Each measurement was different. Amelia's smile slowly faded. "How can my wings be different lengths every time?" she asked. Mela studied the tools quietly. "Maybe," she said gently, "we need to think about how we're measuring." The fairies looked down at their bendy, wiggly tools. Amelia glanced at her wings again. For the first time, she wondered if a mile was harder to prove than she thought. The fairies tried again with great determination. One fairy held the flower stems straight, or as straight as a flower stem could be. Another pressed it gently against Amelia's wing. "It reaches from here to here," she said proudly. Then the stem bent. Oh, she added. Now it reaches farther. They tried the vine next. It stretched when pulled and shrank when released. Your wings are longer when I tug, someone said. No, they're shorter when I hold it, another argued. Amelia watched the measuring tools twist and wobble. Her wings hadn't moved at all. This is confusing, she said. Mela nodded. When our tools change, she said calmly, our answers change too. The fairies stared at the vine. It curled cheerfully back into a loop. Well, someone muttered, that doesn't seem very fair. They tried comparing wings instead. Your wings are longer than mine, one fairy said. And shorter than hers, another replied. They lined up side by side. Amelia stretched her wings wide. Others did the same. The wings overlapped, brushed, fluttered, and tangled. I can't tell where yours ends and mine begins, someone laughed. Amelia's cheeks warmed. But mine feel the longest, she insisted. Mela smiled gently. Feelings help us describe things, she said. But measuring helps us compare them. Amelia folded her wings slightly. So feeling big doesn't always mean being biggest? She asked. Mela shook her head. It means something feels important, she said. Not necessarily long. The fairies sat down in a circle, tools scattered around them. Flower stems, vines, leaf chains. None of them agreed. Amelia looked at her wings again. They really do feel enormous today, she said softly. The fairies nodded. Especially when you stretch them, one said kindly. Mela reached for a straight stick lying nearby. This doesn't bend, she said. And it doesn't stretch. The fairies leaned closer. If we all use the same tool, Mela continued, and measure the same way, we can be fair. Amelia hesitated. What if they're not a mile long? She asked quietly. Mela met her eyes. They'll still be your wings, she said. They measured carefully. No tugging, no bending, no stretching, just one straight stick, placed end to end. The fairies counted slowly together. Amelia watched, holding still. When they finished, Mela smiled. They're long, she said. Very long. Amelia let out a breath. But not a mile, Mela added gently. Amelia laughed, a little sheepishly. I guess a mile was a bit much, she admitted. The fairies laughed with her, not at her. But now, Mela said, we know how long they really are. Amelia stretched her wings again. They still felt wonderful. With the measuring finished, the fairies gathered around Amelia again. So, one fairy said gently, your wings aren't a mile long. Amelia nodded. No, she said. They're not. She looked at the straight stick resting on the grass, then back at her wings. But they felt that long, she added, especially when I stretched them and the wind caught just right. Mela smiled. That's what estimation does, she said. It helps us describe how something feels or looks at first. Amelia's eyes brightened. So guessing isn't wrong? She asked. Not at all, Mela replied. Guessing helps us wonder. The fairies nodded. And measuring? Amelia asked. Measuring helps us know, Mela said. Amelia folded her wings, thoughtful, but smiling. I think I like knowing, she said. It makes the guessing even better. The fairies began comparing wings properly now. They lined up shoulder to shoulder, using the same stick each time. Amelia's wings were longer than some, shorter than others, but always beautiful. Oh, one fairy said, mine are wider. And yours curve more, another noticed. Amelia laughed. So everyone's wings are different, she said. Mela nodded. That's why comparison works best when we're careful, she said. It's not about winning, it's about understanding. Amelia stretched her wings once more, this time without exaggeration. They don't need to be the longest, she said. They're just right for me. The fairies smiled. Later, Amelia found herself telling the story again, but differently this time. My wings are long, she said proudly, and when I first guessed, I thought they were a mile long. The fairies giggled. But then we measured, Amelia continued, and learned how long they really are. Someone asked, Do you wish they were a mile long? Amelia thought. No, she said. I like knowing what's true. Mela smiled. Facts don't take away wonder, she said. They give it shape. Amelia nodded slowly. She liked that. As the sun dipped lower, Amelia watched the shadows stretch across the garden. They looked longer than they really were. She smiled. Shadows exaggerate too, she said. The fairies laughed. Amelia spread her wings gently, feeling their true span, their familiar strength. I think I'll still guess sometimes, she said, but I'll measure when it matters. Mela nodded. That's how learning works, she said. We wonder first, then we check. Amelia looked at her wings, still impressive, still hers, and now, accurately so. As the evening settled into a gentle hush, Amelia sat with the others near the garden's edge, wings folded loosely at her sides. The measuring stick lay nearby, half hidden in the grass, no longer the center of attention. You know, Amelia said after a moment, I think I said a mile because it sounded exciting. The fairies nodded. It was exciting, one said kindly. Amelia smiled. But now I know something even better, she added. I know what's actually true. She stretched her wings again, slowly this time, feeling their real length, their familiar strength. They don't have to be bigger than everything else, she said. They're already enough to carry me where I need to go. Mela watched her with a soft smile. That's the nice thing about measuring, she said. It doesn't shrink things. It helps us understand them. Amelia looked around at her friends, who were listening closely now. I think, she said thoughtfully, that knowing the truth makes it easier to be proud. As twilight deepened, the fairies began to drift home, wings brushing the air in gentle, glowing arcs. Amelia lingered for a moment longer, gazing up at the sky where the first stars were appearing. She lifted her wings once more, letting them catch the evening breeze. They felt just as wonderful as before, maybe even more so. I guess exaggerating makes things sound bigger, she said softly, but measuring helps them make sense. Mela joined her side. And both have a place, she said. Guessing helps us imagine, measuring helps us understand. Amelia nodded. I think I'll still say my wings are amazing, she said with a grin, just not a mile long. The fairies laughed gently, the sound floating through the garden like music. Amelia smiled and lifted into the air, wings strong, steady, and true. Not because they were the longest, but because she knew them well. Some things feel big because they matter. Some things are big because they are. Learning helps us tell the difference. Remember, estimation helps us wonder. Measurement helps us understand. And while exaggeration can be tempting, facts matter, especially when we want to learn the truth.